Hearthstone's quest system. Just remember to come back to the task board after you've fulfilled the requirements to collect your reward. Speaking of task rewards, let's talk about equipment, which is often a major reason you'll want to complete a specific visitor's job. One of the core ways in which you'll define a mercenary's playstyle is through their equipment. Only one piece can be active at a time, with 3 unique options to collect and upgrade. Let's take a look at what Illidan is able to acquire. Razor Fist will provide a straightforward damage bonus to his winged assault ability. We all know Illidan loves to attack, and this defensive option will prove useful if your team is lacking in the heals department. I'm sure you can already imagine what's coming next. Of course, you'll make for one very happy betrayer if you can acquire and equip the Warglaives of Azeroth. With Warglaives in hand, Outcast attack becomes a massive threat to the enemy's flanks. Moving on, let's introduce Cairn Bloodhoof. As you'll see, his equipment options present a significant strategic decision. Reincarnation pairs great with this tanking Tauren, and may even foil your opponent's command phase game plan. Swift Totem will amp up the bonus from Endurance Aura, allowing your team to unleash big abilities well ahead of your enemy's actions. Thunderous Sash, on the other hand, can make Cairn's War Stomp a frustrating hindrance to enemy teams that rely on getting in early attacks and buffs. Making sure your mercenaries are well equipped is always going to give you an edge in combat, so be sure to keep an eye on those visitors and complete their tasks to gear up. And hello again, Ben.
Cheers, Sasiba. You know, sitting around a nighttime campfire before going into battle, it almost reminds me of...
Ben! I think something's wrong with the portal.
Ah, of course, Diablo. Today, we're thrilled to announce that Hearthstone will be welcoming and fully embracing a character from a different Blizzard universe.
Wow.
Initially playable as a mercenary, it is now our pleasure to introduce you to the arch rival of the Nephilim.
Is it fear that I smell? I will feast upon this world.
Interesting. Not expect this.
Now speak to the Lord of Terror. There is no escape.
Bet you he's gonna become a class for sure. Fucking look at the chat, dude. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
Not even death can save you from me.
Weird.
The Lord of Terror will go live at the launch of Mercenaries and can be found in Mercenaries packs. He'll also be available in the Diamond Diablo pre-purchase bundle, starting today. We hope you're as excited as we are to bring a little terror to the tavern.
Wait, you're bringing what to my tavern? Oh, hey again, everyone. Now, of course, any good village needs an upstanding tavern, and this will play an important role in your mercenary's journey. Let's take a look in-game. Once you build a tavern, it will function as your mercenary collection, where you can customize teams and individual characters. Like the card collection, you'll be able to navigate the full library of mercenaries. Each has their own page to manage portraits, abilities, and equipment. We love that Mercenaries opens up a new way to tell stories with this amazing cast of heroes and villains.
This is gonna be interesting.
That extends to the art, with representations of the characters in different stages of their own lore. We all know Arthas and his path from beloved prince to Lich King.
I may
when you
be
first
playing
unlock a
Mercenaries
mercenary,
a bit,
you'll have the
that's for
default
sure.
portrait as shown for Arthas.
Anything that's
Each
not
character
standard
also
lol.
has 2 alternates which can be earned from mercenary packs and in some cases tasks. Their portraits are a snapshot of notable growth and notoriety to collect, and you'll find the theme consistent throughout the roster. On top of the portraits, there are also different frame rarities, from normal to golden to diamond, and each bringing more gravitas with added animations and effects. Next, feast your eyes on this young and adorable King Crush. He may have started out cute as a button, but once those teeth grew in...
This is basically the same thing.
Yeah, distract your enemies with extreme cuteness or intimidate with pure terror.
Trying
It's
to
up
warm
to
up
you.
my hand.
As you unlock and collect
fucked up
portraits,
right now.
you'll open up new ways to bring the mercenary characters together. Maybe you want to have Illidan, Tyrande, and Malfurion all teaming up during simpler times. In addition to customizing cosmetics, you'll come here to upgrade abilities and equipment. In Mercenaries, unlocking a higher rank of an ability significantly increases that character's power level. When a new mercenary joins your collection at level 1, they will have a single ability. The second unlocks at level 5, and the third unlocks when the character reaches level 15. Let's take a look at Millhouse's kit of Arcane Assault to compare his ability ranks. These are typically a linear increase to effectiveness, but in the case of Arcane Bolt, you'll be able to ramp up the spell damage you gain more quickly in addition to a boost in raw damage. Upgrading is done through a new in-game resource system called Mercenary Coins. Each character has their own coin, which you'll earn from bounties, PvP, and mercenary packs. Now let's shift gears to teams. In the Tavern's Mercenary Collection, you'll see a sidebar to manage teams similar to standard card decks. A team in Mercenaries is made up of 6. While you can only have 3 in play, the remaining 3 will make up the bench. When one of your in-play mercenaries falls in battle, you'll bring in a member from the bench at the end of that combat round. So far today, we've taken a look at how this huge new mode's gameplay works, with several reveals of mercenaries and their abilities, equipment, and art. What do you think, Hasiba? Are we ready to dive into team building?
Absolutely. All of you have now seen the core components that define an individual mercenary. Now the fun really starts as we start looking at the bigger picture of maximizing synergies. You never know exactly which mercenaries you'll discover in the world, but there are a variety of opportunities to bring them together in complementary ways.
I don't get it. Do you have to buy
Let's
these
start with
things?
a few examples of the most
Or are
familiar
you just like
relationships.
drafting the shit?
Minion types. Murlocs offer versatile strength on their own and work together to overwhelm their
Firework
opponents
is
with
sick.
agile aggression and power in numbers.
Why isn't regular modes like artwork this cool? What about battlegrounds? Like, bruh. Look at these fucking hero power.
Now, if you're more of a land animal person, we got you covered. You'll also find plenty of Azeroth's fiercest beasts and renowned handlers.
Lead a demon army into battle and dominate your enemies with overwhelming numbers.
That's just a few of the many minion types to find and collect in Mercenaries, and having 1 to 2 ways to combine their strengths on the battlefield is highly beneficial. Now let's talk about an entirely different way Mercenaries can combine their skills to make a successful team.
Spell schools have become an integral part of Hearthstone, and we're extending that approach to mercenaries in a major way. While the loyalties and motivations of certain characters may clash, combining wielders of a specific magic will unlock incredibly powerful combos and teamwork. Fire synergy can come from a traditional fire mage to elementals to a whirlwind of flames itself, and can chain their abilities to unleash AoE destruction.
Wow, that team looks pretty intense. I think we
No
need
one's
to
playing
chill out
this
a bit
after
and move
2
on to the
weeks.
next spell school.
Ouch. I mean, I don't know how much you have to pay or whatever. Depends on like you craft things.
There's clearly
I
some
don't know, this
awesome
doesn't-
power to be harnessed using the elemental
looks really
spell
cool,
schools.
but it looks
And
very
now let's look
confusing.
at the tremendous support and sustain a holy team can provide.
Like, is this all auto? I'm confused. Do you just choose something, or do they all happen? Like, I don't really understand.
Now we can't show Holy without its polar opposite. The suppression and control that Shadow Magic lends can be deadly with some clever play.
Just reuse art, wow. Everyone's saying pay to win in the chat.
Again, there are plenty more spell schools to
If it's like
explore and build
duels,
teams around
no
in
one's
Mercenaries.
gonna play.
But I hope you're all enjoying a preview to start considering how these synergies can be leveraged.
Definitely.
Like, duels
we
cost
didn't
way
even
too
check out
much.
nature yet, and that's gotta be one of my favorites. But the show must go on. In addition to spell schools and minion types, there are other outside-the-box ways to approach combat strategy. Let's check out one more example that uses tricks, traps, and the combo keyword to build momentum.
Oh.
Remember that a team has 6 mercenaries, so combining 2 to 3 of these themes amongst your roster is a pretty good idea. Alright, that wraps up this stop of the tour.
Means
I'm
nothing,
sticking around at the tavern. Where are you taking these fine viewers next, Hasiba?
We're actually headed towards the portal. See you in a bit, Joe. Now it's time to see how you'll access the world and take on bounties in Mercenaries. So the portal here is what we call the travel point. Initially, you'll have to make do with a reliable Dark Moon mare to get the job done. But as you upgrade the village, the technology and capability of the travel point increases. Let's head into the game to learn a little bit more about... Wait, is that Sarge? Sarge, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in the tavern.
I don't even know who this is.
What do you mean there's not enough cheese?
This is like
There's
Bob
so much
for
cheese in there.
Fucking Mercenaries.
Okay, fine. If you have to go, then pick me up a block of Darnassian blow, please. And be careful, it's dangerous out there. We're very excited to announce that Sarge will be available as a new World of Warcraft mount when the game mode launches.
Oh.
Complete the
Yeah, I don't
Mercenaries
care.
tutorial and start
Oh.
your first bounty to
No one plays
automatically
WoW anymore.
unlock
Like,
Sarge
stop
on your
pushing
WoW
it.
count. Interacting with the travel point is your first step to starting a bounty, which you can think of as a PvE mission. There are several zones to explore, along with progressively higher level targets to hunt. Let's dive in and head to Felwood. Here we have the available bounties with some information to help you decide on the right job. The target of a bounty will be the final boss of that run, so noting their role can be beneficial in bringing your A-team of counters. I think we'll take on Raven the Hunter's bounty for some good old Furbolg fighting. Remembering that our target is a protector, I'm thinking this arcane awesomeness team here will fare quite well, since it has all of our highest level caster mercs. So, in we go to Felwood to find Raven. Every bounty map is procedurally generated, meaning you'll get unique map layouts along with
Randomly
randomized
generated,
encounter
not
enemies and
procedurally.
points of interest to navigate.
Right?
Clicking on the nodes gives you some details, but you'll also need to use your intuition and decide which routes to take along the way. Let's unpack some of the obstacles and rewards for clearing them that you'll find on your adventures. Minor encounters are made up of enemies that should be manageable given your team is on par with that bounty's power level. Keep your guard up
If you
though,
have
as
three-
losing members on your
three
team
main
will
cards,
restrict
I
your
don't
options
really
in the long run.
understand.
Here,
Like,
you'll find
how
not
are
all
you
enemies
drawing
have an
5 now?
alignment, and they can also have keyword effects like Death Rattle. Always take a moment to scope out their moves and strategize
Do you
the
always
game
play
plan.
3?
Now, the exciting part.
Dude.
Encounter victories reward experience to all members of your
Everyone's
party.
confused in
On
chat.
top of that, one mercenary in your party will be rewarded with a discovered treasure that can bolster
Yeah, that makes
stats and
sense.
abilities or add an entirely new spell or attribute. Treasure bonuses last throughout that bounty run, but are not permanent upgrades to the mercenary. Side note,
Hey, the
as long
spire's
as
better.
one mercenary is still standing
Hey,
at
the
the end of
spire.
a battle, all damage on that mercenary will be
AFK
fully
arena.
recovered before the next encounter.
LMAO. I
Elite
actually learned
encounters work
nothing.
the same way, but the risks and
if you
rewards
have to buy
are far
packs for
greater.
this, it's
These
not gonna
enemies will
work.
offer a major challenge, and it's
gonna
unlikely
work.
that your party will come out unscathed. Then again,
Which
think
sucks,
of
is
the
they probably
secret
put so much
treasure.
work into
Substantially
this.
bigger bonuses come from besting these elites and can give you a crucial advantage for the final battle. You'll also come across spirit healers that simply revive any fallen members of your party. After limping away from an elite encounter, this can be a beautiful discovery that saves your bounty run. Beyond encounters and spirit healers, keep an eye out for the many other curveball points of interest that fill the roads to bounty bosses. Take the mysterious
Everyone's saying
stranger,
this is going
where
too
choosing
fast.
to engage can reveal a helpful ally, confounding
Hey,
an adversary,
fire.
or a neutral surprise. Or you can find and activate boons that empower all characters of a specific role for the rest of the bounty, including enemies. Alas, after battling your way through the twists and turns, you've made it to the end of the line. The final and greatest challenge will be your bounty target, occupying a special boss room along with their hoarded treasures. Now it's time to bring out the best of your team and maximize the value of every treasure, boon, and bonus to finish the job. Successfully completing the bounty will immediately open the treasure chest for those
Slay the
sweet,
Spire, you get the
sweet
whole game for
rewards.
$20.
However, if your team was wiped out at any point in the run, you'll only retain the experience gains of the run. Any
literally gonna be
particular
fucking
bounty
packs
can be
and shit for
attempted
this,
and
I'm pretty sure.
completed an unlimited
Stupid.
number of times.
I mean, I'll
with
try
each
it out,
instance
but
offering a new random map with the
it's
same
if I can
final
try it
boss.
out.
Since you can also glean the potential rewards by inspecting the treasure chest of a bounty's map, there's many cases where replaying and
duels, I
beating
couldn't
the
even
same
try it out,
bounty for that
basically.
certain special mercenary
It's just
loot
locked.
makes sense.
No
Let's
way.
come back to the travel point menu, where you'll also see additional
Lawsuit,
difficulties.
money grab?
A
No,
quick
they won't get
note that
sued.
completing all of the bounties in each zone on normal will get your team well into the 20 to 25 level range. So what comes next? Once you upgrade the travel point in your village from a horse to a flight point, sorry horse, heroic difficulty will be unlocked. Bounty difficulties can be toggled at any time in the village. Heroic versions of a bounty will obviously scale up the power level of enemies and bosses, but there's also an increase in map size and layout that ramps up the challenge and stakes of each run. Now, if you're also wondering, hey Asiba, could you please explain that giant portal behind you? Well, that's actually the Tier 3 upgrade of the travel point. At launch, only normal and heroic bounties will be available. However, in an upcoming content update, we'll be opening up legendary difficulty, accessed by fully upgrading the travel point of your village to the portal here. This is just one big piece of the content that we have planned to follow the release of Mercenaries, as we'll also regularly be adding themed updates with new bounties, mercenaries, and the additions to the village.
They're really trying
With
to get
that,
people to
you're
come
well
back to this
equipped
game.
to start tackling the wide world of bounties that awaits outside the village.
The interest.
So now let's shift gears and talk about PvP in Mercenaries. In the essence of civility, we like to keep all the drama contained here in the fighting pit. This functions as your access point to battling other players. And now I'll let our resident PvP expert, Joe, fill you in on what to expect.
So you've bested a few bounties, and now your party is ready to challenge other players. Well, step on down into the fighting pit. I'm game designer Joe Killian, here to show you the ropes of PvP and Mercenaries. Once you've unlocked and built a fighting pit in your own humble village, you'll be ready to get started. Inside, you can select from your teams and prepare, just like choosing a deck in Standard. At launch, a Mercenaries PvP match will consist of both players bringing a single team of 6, and just like in a bounty encounter, defeating your opponent's entire party will secure victory. One key difference from other game modes is that you take your party into combat as is. That means the progress you've earned in mercenary levels, ability tiers, and equipment all play a direct role into your PvP prowess. As you can imagine, the matchmaking in Mercenaries is quite a bit more complex than other game modes, since it needs to weigh all of these aspects to ensure relatively even power levels. While you'll always be paired up against opponents with teams of similar strength, we love that these factors open up a ton of potential for unique asymmetrical matches. Now let's talk strategy for a moment. Unlike PvE, where you can gather some information on what you'll be up against, in PvP, your team will face a mixed bag of opponents with varying roles and synergies. You may find yourself up against a protector-heavy orc team, or thrown into a fiery foray of elementals and casters. I like to bring beasts and nature casters, so I have good coverage of all the roles and some powerful synergies. If you want to come out swinging with all fighters, that choice is yours. Players will earn daily rewards just for participating in PvP, but with great ratings comes great rewards, and at increasing milestones, you'll unlock more and more mercenary reward chests. However, unlike the ranked chests from Standard, these contain mercenary-specific items, like mercenary packs and coins, so you can continue to expand and improve your mercenaries roster. We're incredibly excited to open up an entirely new way to PvP in Hearthstone, and now you know everything you need to get started, so it's up to you and your party.
Honestly,
good luck in the fighting pit, and we'll see you in Mercenaries.
They didn't tell me shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, they told me stuff, but
Welcome back, everyone.
I don't know how to play.
One of my favorite aspects in PvP and Mercenaries is that you can't see your opponent's command phase actions, which often obscures combat ability order, adding a new layer of challenge to tactical decisions. On the other hand, watching some good combat chaos unfold is half the fun. Alright, let's touch on a few other areas of the village, starting with the merchant cart. Here you'll find the Mercenaries shop with, you guessed it, Mercenaries packs. This new kind of Hearthstone pack contains Mercenaries items with the same pack opening feel. Inside you'll find coins for crafting mercenaries or upgrading abilities and equipment, along with actual new mercenaries and even alternate portraits. Occasionally you might find limited time offers and deals here from the merchant, so it's good to stop by and check in. Tucked in over here is the mailbox to keep your village connected to the world. Besides your Mercenaries team's fan mail, of course, we'll also be sending updates on new content, patch changes, and other fun stuff here. So keep an eye out for the handy exclamation mark that you have unread mail. Oh hey, I think I see Joe doing a bit of combat training over there. Keep it up, Joe.
Thanks, Asiba. That's enough training for now.
Cringe.
Let me show you the last stop on our tour.
Like,
where I'll
don't they
swap
know
out
that
swords and
adults
shields for
are their
blueprints.
player base? Like,
This
kids don't
workshop
play
here
this.
is where all
It's
the
hard.
constructing and upgrading happens.
costs too much money.
Throughout the day, we've explored how different areas of the village contribute to our overall
Damn it,
journey in Mercenaries. But at the start, you'll basically have an open plot of land as your empty canvas. Then it's up to you to decide what you want to build and upgrade. When it comes to building up your village, everything is done with gold, and only gold. The first step is to create a starting version of each structure to unlock
like
its
regular
benefits.
in-game gold,
For example,
or
the
something
fighting
different?
pit gives you access to PvP.
That's cool
From
if it's
there,
regular
some
in-game gold.
structures can be upgraded for added
'Cause I'm
benefits
tired of this
and
shit being
bonuses.
pay to win.
Upgrading the campfire, for instance,
Like, I
opens
would
up
love to
more
try out
spots
this
for
mode.
visitors to come give you tasks. Speaking of the campfire, let's see how the
Couldn't
others
even
are
play
doing.
duels. That shit
Well, I
was
don't know about
just
you two,
locked
but
behind
after
too
all
much.
that constructing, it feels good to be back by the campfire.
You know, Millhouse conjured these, and supposedly arcane infusion tastes like blueberries.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, annoying.
Anyways, hey everyone at
Cringe as
home.
fuck.
Along with what Joe talked through, we have plenty more exciting additions planned for the village, and you'll see those arrive in a future update. Be sure to keep some gold tucked away to get your mercenaries the new digs. And with that, I think we'll call this tour a wrap. Ben?
Indeed, you both rocked it.
Honestly,
Thank
they
you so
should
much
have.
to all of you
They
who
should have
came
been
along
slower. They
with
should have
us
told
and
us
seeing what
more.
Mercenaries
Like,
is
this
all
was
about.
a terrible reveal.
We couldn't be more excited
As much as I want to say it
welcome you
wasn't.
into this massive new adventure. Whether your goal is conquering all the heroic bounties, ascending the PvP leaderboards, or collecting a legendary roster of renowned heroes and villains. On behalf of the team, we sincerely appreciate you continuing to support, play, and communicate with us around the Hearth. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts on today's announcements, and we'll see you at the launch of Mercenaries on October the 12th. Until next
October
time,
12th.
we'll see you in the tavern.
That's like, I don't know why you would do a reveal stream so much earlier than that. Right, well, that was that. Nice. Seems actually pretty cool. It's just Slay the Spire, basically copied over for Hearthstone. I don't know if it's gonna be better though, because like, Slay the Spire is like 20 bucks or whatever, and you get the whole game. There's gonna be content and packs and stuff. This is not gonna work right now. Okay, now we have to wait for this. Not yet. The BG update, y'all. Did I actually get these? Cool. This then. Let's open our packs real quick. Nothing else, huh? That's it.
This is it. You've made it to Storm.
I just want to say that
Go have a look around.
they turned that stream on 45 minutes early. And the stream lasted less than a half hour. Like,